All right, guys, starting the evaluation on the Tavor bullpup. Look, I have no dog in the fight. I don't care where this falls out, but I know a lot of people hate this thing who've never even picked one up. They just go, oh my God, that thing sucks. Well, you don't really know that unless you've run it. There are advantages to a shorter bullpup type configuration. So let's talk about a few advantages. For those who don't know, a bullpup has has the bolt and the magazine and the firing mechanism, rear of the pistol grip and the trigger. So the barrel comes all the way from here, all the way back to here. It makes it very maneuverable in tight spaces, but you still get the benefit of having a longer barrel, all right? So if you look at this, and you look at this, these two rifles have the exact same barrel length, 16.5 inches. Exact same firing capability, same muzzle velocity, same everything. All right, now you can see why the Israeli army would go with this, because they have a lot of people inside armored vehicles, inside helicopters. They have a national service. They get people in all shapes and sizes. This gives you the ability, because the weight's to the rear, to fire in a very comfortable way, but it still has a longer barrel. Now, why is a longer barrel better? A lot of people will say it's more accurate and all this, which is kind of sort of true. But if we look at it, once we fire this weapon, and the round, the firing pin hits the percussion cap, explosion starts, the round gets pushed. As the round travels down the barrel, under the pressure of the gases, if the barrel is really short, you haven't gotten the full benefit of those gases, right? If it has time to burn all that gas, the bullet's going to come out faster, called muzzle velocity. Higher muzzle velocity equates to a flatter shooting round, less wind deflection and better terminal effects. All right, we'll talk about that in a second. Now, as I go from shot to shot, if my muzzle velocity is low, if the bullet's coming out slower because of a short barrel, then I have to elevate the gun more to compensate for gravity. It's like throwing a football, right? If I'm throwing a football to somebody close, I throw it one way. If I throw somebody far away, you got to throw it high in the air. So as when gravity drops it down, it has time to get there. Same thing with a rifle. Longer shots, got to increase the angle of departure to compensate for gravity. The slower the bullet, the lower the muzzle velocity, the more you have to elevate that rifle, all right? If barrel length didn't matter and muzzle velocity didn't matter, we'd all carry these. This is a little short gun. It's good for a truck gun, very low muzzle velocity. So at distance, I would have to elevate this crazy angle of departure in order to launch the bullet high enough so it would drop down on target, okay? So let's say this is our short barreled rifle. It's a FAMAS, ugliest gun ever made. So because in this case, it's got a 10-inch barrel with a muzzle velocity is 2,400 feet per second. I totally made those numbers up. Don't beat me up on them, right? But because it's got a short barrel, which we all want, which is convenient, and a low muzzle velocity, it means I have to elevate the gun and launch that bullet at a steeper angle. That means it's in the air longer. It has less terminal effects on target. And because of that high angle, this is an exaggerated graph. Let's say I'm shooting at a target at 600 yards, but I'm off on my range estimation. He's actually at 700. Because that bullet's coming in steeply, I'm not going to hit him. If he's actually at 550 or 500, because that bullet's coming in steeply, I'll probably shoot over the top of him, okay? Whereas on the other side, we have a flatter shooting trajectory because of a higher muzzle velocity, and it's more forgiving for ranging errors. Let's take a look at that one. All right, on this one, because it has a high muzzle velocity, longer barrel, it's going 2,800 feet per second, just made that up. It means I don't have to compensate for gravity as much, so it's going to shoot flatter. So my angle of departure is less. So that bullet, instead of arcing crazy, is coming flatter. So if I'm shooting at this 600-yard target, but it's actually at 650 or 700, that flat trajectory might enable me to hit that. If he's actually at 550 or 500, again, that flat trajectory is going to make it much more forgiving with ranging errors, okay? Also, less wind deflection, bullets in the air, less time, better terminal effects on targets, okay? High muzzle velocity is always good for shooting. A flat trajectory is always good for shooting, and that's why a long barrel in a short compact package is advantageous. All right, let's do the eval.